talk about the letters of support you've received from law enforcement organizations. I want to discuss the circumstances of that support. Did you or anyone on your behalf or anyone in or affiliated with the Biden campaign, transition, or administration pressure those organizations with threats of retaliation if they did not support your nomination?
No, Senator.
There were no threats to cut off access or influence to the Department of Justice if those law enforcement organizations did not support your nomination?
I don't believe a single law enforcement organization would allow itself to be subject to threats and certainly would not support my nomination. It goes against the grain, to be honest, to support a civil rights lawyer for the number 3 position of the Associate Attorney General of the Justice Department to support my nomination. These are from longstanding relationships that I've had with the Fraternal Order of Police, with every other law enforcement association. These are not people who would take lightly to being pressured in any improper way.
Are you aware of the phrase "not enough" being used in these conversations? Law enforcement organizations being told it's not enough to support Judge Garland and Ms. Monaco. They have to support you as well if they want access to the Department of Justice.
I have not heard of any such thing.
Thank you. I want to turn to a couple of questions about gender. In May 2018, the Department of Justice issued a policy saying that an inmate's biological sex would be the determinant to the prison facility to which they were assigned, not their gender identity. It said that was only appropriate, quote, only in rare cases, and, quote, on a case-by-case basis. You criticized that decision at the time. So let me ask you, do you believe that it should not be limited to rare cases and a case-by-case basis to assign a biological male inmate to a women's prison facility?
Senator, I believe that if I'm confirmed, I'm going to be enforcing federal laws on this. And the decisions that I made at the Civil Rights Division on these issues were very considered at the highest levels of the Justice Department in enforcing our federal laws and Constitution and in protecting the public safety of people in prison, regardless of their background.
If infamous Democratic mega donor and sexual predator Harvey Weinstein transitioned to a female gender identity, do you believe that he should be placed in a woman's prison?
Senator, I believe that the issue of how one defines sex and sex discrimination in our laws has been decided in the Bostock decision by the United States Supreme Court. And I will, if confirmed, be enforcing all federal law and Supreme Court precedent.
Well, it's an open question whether that case will be extended beyond the employment context. Let's turn to another context, sports. In 2016, at the Civil Rights Division, you issued guidance that Title IX requires that a school must not treat a transgendered student differently from the way it treats other students of the same gender identity. So that means, for instance, if a biological male student informs the school that he now identifies as a female, the school would be required to allow him to participate on girls' athletics teams. Is that correct?
Senator, President Biden has been very clear and forthright about his support to protect all LGBTQ people in an executive order. I think also supported by Bostock, which applies in Title VII, as you note, and he has asked federal agencies to look at and consider application of the Bostock decision in other federal statutes as long as it's consistent with the law. And if I am confirmed, I believe in supporting the dignity and well-being of all people in accordance with our federal laws and the Constitution.
Ms. Gupta, do you know who holds the world record for women in the 100-meter and 200-meter dash?
No, I do not.
The late, great Florence Griffith Joyner, Flo-Jo to millions of her fans. No woman has ever run faster in those two races than she has. But you know who has? 76 high school boys in America in 2019. Do you really think it's fair to high school girls, given the innate physical differences, to have boys who can beat the fastest woman in the history of the world transition to female identity and then compete against them in their sports?
Senator, I believe that LGBTQ people have the right and dignity to be identified as they see fit, as do all Americans. And if I am confirmed, I will be enforcing federal civil rights laws and the Constitution in upholding that value.
That time's expired.
Senator Coons.